Hare Krishna, thank you for joining this morning. Let's make a start. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Jai Gir Vardhari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Jai Gir Vardhari Shodanandan Vraj Jana Ranjan Shodanandan Vraj Jana Ranjan Yamuna Tir Vanchari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirnasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakanara Gunathutam Tam Saryu Sadvaitam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakharmitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sutta Devi Pranmami Haripriya Vanchakalpatu Priyascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitana Pavnebhu Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukham Groti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandeshi Gurudin Tarana Paramananda Madham Shirtaneshram Hariyam Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nashta Presha Abduresha Nitya Bhavasya Bhavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Nestiki. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. Right, let's get myself sorted. So last time, in chapter 16, as you know, last time we're talking about the guidance of Kripacharya for Maharaj Parikshit. Now he's the ruler, he's the new emperor. And when he was born, the Brahmanas predicted so many qualities for him. You know, he was compared to the best of the best, even compared to Krishna, Bhisham, Arjun, like that. And it's mentioned that those qualities that were mentioned in Maharaj Parikshit, you know, he has lived up to that reputation. Some qualities he may be born with, others he has to cultivate, because you know, some things you have to practice. So like that, you know, he's a very worthy emperor, and he's running like Ram Rajya. Everybody is happy in the kingdom, and everything's running very, very smoothly. Even though Kali is there, but he has Kali in check. At least he will do, as we read on. And now, actually, last time we read, he met Kali. So let's carry on. Verse 5. Okay. Right. So we just go back to Shaunak Rishi and with Sutta Goswami discussing the Bhagavatam. Shaunak Vacha Kasya Heto Nijgraha Kalim Digvijay Nirpaha Nardeva Chinha Drik Shudra Kosa Gam Yaha Pradhanat Tat Kathiyatam Mahabhaga Yadi Krishna Katha Ashrayam. So Shaunak Vacha, Shaunak Rishi said, Kasya for what? Heto, a reason. Nij Graha, sufficiently punished. Kalim, the master of the age of Kali. Digvijay, during the time of his world tour. Nirpaha, the king. Nar, Dev, royal person. Chihin, Drik, decorated like. Shudrakaha, lowest of the Shudras. Asauhi, Gam, cow, Ya, one who. Pada, Ahanat, struck on the leg, that all that. Kathiyatam, please describe. Mahabhag, O greatly fortunate one. Yadi, if however, Krishna, about Krishna. Katha Ashrayam, related with these topics. So in translation by Srila Prabhupada, Shaunak Rishi inquired, why did Maharaj Parikshit simply punish him, since he was the lowest of the Shudras, having dressed as a king and having struck a cow on the leg? So that's the question. Please describe all these incidents if they relate to the topics of Lord Krishna. So Shaunak and Rishis were astonished to hear that the pious Maharaj Parikshit simply punished the culprit and did not kill him. So it's the other way around. It's not like, why did he punish him? It's like, for such an abominable act, a Shudra dressed like a king and striking a cow, is punishable by death. This suggests that a pious king like Maharaj Parikshit should have at once killed an offender who wanted to cheat the public by dressing like a king, and at the same time daring to insult the purest of the animals, a cow. So the rishis in those days, however, could not even imagine that in the advanced days of the age of Kali, the lowest of Shudras will be elected as administrators and will open organized slaughterhouses for killing cows. Anyway, although hearing about a Shudrak who was a cheat and insulter of a cow was not very interesting to the great rishis. So, okay, that's probably seen it before, heard it before. They nevertheless wanted to hear about it to see if the event had any connection with Lord Krishna. They were simply interested in the topics of Lord Krishna. For anything that is dovetailed with the narration of Krishna is worth hearing. There are many topics in the Bhagavatam about sociology, politics, economics, culture of faith, etc. But all of them are in relation with Krishna. And therefore, all of them are worth hearing. Krishna is the purifying ingredient in all matters, regardless of what they are. In the mundane world, everything is impure due to its being a product of the three more mundane qualities. The purifying agent, however, is Krishna. Okay, so let's see, we can add on verse 5. So why didn't Maharaj Parikshit just kill Kali? Why did he let him go? Kali's appearance right at the beginning of Kali Yuga, a Shudra disguised as a king, is a sign. It's a sign that in the near future, Shudras elected as administrators will open organized slaughterhouses for killing cows. So some way or other that these people in charge and killing of cows will be connected. That was the like sign from that. And yes, you can see that it's everything. It's now organized, and in the center is cow killing, it's big business now. And in 6, Atvasya padamboj makrand liham satam kim anye asad alape ayusho yad asad veha. So athava, otherwise, asya of his pad amboj, lotus feet, makrand liham, of those who lick the honey from such a lotus flower, satam, of those who are to exist eternally, kim anihe, what is the use of anything else, asat, illusory, alapehi, topics, ayushaha, of the duration of life, yat, that which is asat, vyaha, unnecessary waste of life. So the devotees of the Lord are accustomed to licking up the honey available from the lotus feet of the Lord. What is the use of topics which simply waste one's valuable life? So time is precious, and just hearing things mundane, unnecessary, you're wasting such important time. And as we have discussed, that you cannot buy time, every minute, second that's gone, you cannot replace it. And if you are given a certain amount of time to live, you cannot pay a doctor, when you're going to die, that can he prolong your life? When you're going to die, you're going to die. So like the very limited time, we are limited in every way. So Lord Krishna and his devotees are both on the transcendental plane. Therefore, the topics of Lord Krishna and of his pure devotees are equally good. The battle of Kurukshetra is full of politics and diplomacy, but because the topics are related with Lord Krishna, the Bhagavad-Gita is therefore adored all over the world. There is no need to eradicate politics, economics, socialism, etc., which are mundane to the mundaners. To a pure devotee who is actually related with the Lord, such mundane things are transcendental if dovetailed with the Lord or with his pure devotees. We have heard and talked about the activities of the Pandavas, and we now are dealing with the topics of Maharaj Parikshit. And because all these topics are related to the Lord Krishna, Shri Krishna, they are all transcendental, and pure devotees have great interest in hearing them. We have already discussed this matter in connection with the praise of Bhishamdev. So anything that's connected to Krishna automatically is spiritualized, and it's automatically important, because otherwise it would not be discussed. No, it wouldn't be discussed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It would not be spoken by Krishna. Krishna never spoke anything that was unnecessary. Every word, every syllable was important. Our duration of life is not very long, and there is no certainty of when we shall be ordered to leave everything for the next stage. Thus, it is our duty to see that not a moment of our life is wasted in topics which are not related with Lord Krishna. So here you go. It's telling you that don't waste your life even for a second. Any topic, however pleasant, is not worth hearing if it is devoid of its relation to Krishna. So we have limited time, and if we don't use it wisely, we could lose out. The spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal abode of Lord Krishna, is shaped like the whorl of a lotus flower. Even when the Lord descends to any one of the mundane planets, he does so by manifesting his own abode as it is. Thus his feet remain always on the same big whorl of the lotus flower. His feet are also as beautiful as the lotus flower. Therefore, it is said that Lord Krishna has lotus feet. So his feet are also as beautiful as the lotus flower. That's why we call them lotus feet. A living being is eternal by constitution. He is, so to speak, in the whirlpool of birth and death due to his contact with material energy. Freed from such material energy, a living entity is liberated and eligible to return home, back to Godhead. Those who want to live forever without changing their material bodies should not waste valuable time with topics other than those relating to Lord Krishna and his devotees. That is 6. So so we should be thinking like, why are we hearing? Is it related to Lord Krishna? Then I want to hear it. If it's not related to Lord Krishna, then it's going to be a waste of time. If it's related to the devotees of Krishna, then I want to hear. So Krishna and his devotees are same. At work, you are duty bound to discuss products and so on. So work time, it can be slightly different. But where you are not duty bound, don't hear mundane talk, which makes sense. This is why we associate with devotees, so we can hear Krishna Katha. If you associate with mundane people who have their own agendas, own interests, own likes and dislikes, own preferences, then you will end up here, these mundane kathas of theirs, and it's really not, it's not useful for this human birth. So very important. The association is good, and we're discussing Krishna Katha. Very, very important. Because end of the day, nothing else is important. What is important is that we remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the bottom line. Everything we're doing, this discussion we're having right now, whatever sadhana you did this morning, it all boils down to remembering Krishna. It's about getting those neurons activated. We have forgotten Krishna, and we want to activate those neurons in the brain to get in the consciousness, to get them moving, and to remember Krishna. That's what it's all about. Everything we're doing, it's all about that. And at the same time, we are purifying, because the more we purify, the more chance we have of remembering Krishna. Okay. So, hearing about favorable topics of Krishna, ankulyena Krishnanu shilanam. Not unfavorable like hearing from Kans about Krishna. We want to hear topics of Krishna from a pure devotee, not a non-devotee, full of envy, full of ego, exploitation and condemnation. So, we want to hear about Krishna, but from a devotee type of katha. Try to keep yourself in good association so you can hear good topics. Not complaints about Krishna or his devotees or anything. Good topics related to Krishna's glories. And then text 7. Shudra Yusham Nirnam Ang Mrityanam Ritam Ishchitam Eho Pahuto Bhagwan Mrituhu Shamitra Karmani. So Shudra very small, Kshudra very small, Ayusham of the duration of life, Nirnam of the human beings, Ang of Sutta Goswami, Mrityanam of those who are sure to meet death, Ritam eternal life, Ichitam of those who desire it, Iha herein, Upahutaha called for being present, Bhagwan representing the Lord, Mrituhu the control of death, Yamraj that is Shamitra suppressing karmani performances. So O Sutta Goswami, there are those amongst men who desire freedom from death and get eternal life, and they escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death, who is Yamraj. The living entity, as it develops from lower animal life to a higher human life being and gradually to higher intelligence, becomes anxious to get free from the clutches of death. Modern scientists try to avoid death by physiochemical advancement of knowledge, but alas, the control of death, Yamaraj, is so cruel that he does not spare even the very life of the scientist himself. So the scientist who's trying to prolong other people's life, he can't even save himself. The scientist who puts forward the theory of stopping death by advancement of scientific knowledge becomes himself a victim of death when he's called by Yamraj. So what to speak of stopping death? No one can enhance the short period of life, even by a fraction of a moment. The only hope of suspending the cruel slaughtering process of Yamraj is to call him to hear and chant the holy name of the Lord. Yamaraj is a great devotee of the Lord, and he likes to be invited to kirtans and sacrifices by the pure devotees. So the only hope suspending the cruel slaughtering process of Yamaraj. So you're gonna die. We're all gonna die anyway. We have to shed this body. It's a temporary body. We have to leave this body. But if you want to avoid the cruelty of Yamaraj, his punishment of Yamaraj, then he likes to be invited to kirtans and sacrifices by the pure devotees who are constantly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Thus the great sages, headed by Shaunak and others, invited Yamaraj to attend the sacrifice performed at the Nam Sharanya. This was good for those who did not want to die. I mean, when you say we don't want to die, it means we don't want to take another body. Right? So we're taking birth, we're dying, taking birth, we're dying, we're in a perpetual cycle, right? Birth, death, old age and disease. These four things in a cycle we are constantly going through again and again and again. Like Keshava says, you might be really good at what you do, but you are all in a rat race. So it doesn't matter how great you are, you're still a rat. That's why we're in a rat race, so we can only be classed as rats in that race. We need to get out of that rat race of this cycle of birth, death, again and again, birth, death, birth, death. And we didn't know that, but now we know that we can finish this cycle and we can go back home, back to Godhead. We can free ourselves from Yamaraj, because Yamaraj, he will punish us, kick us, and then back again with another body according to our karma. And then we do more karma, right? Bad karmas, and then we get punished again. Just going on for millions of births. And we can avoid all this, we can get out of this, but we have to do something about it. Krishna is not going to do everything for you. Certain things you have to do yourself. He has given you the instrument, he has given you the facility. We have to now use it. So that's verse 7. So you can add anything. Yamdutas went back to Yamaraj. So this story of Ajamil, Yamdutas went back to Yamaraj and explained to him why they could not bring Ajamil. Yamaraj was in great ecstasy after hearing that. He was happy when they said Vishnu Dutas were there, and they came to and they stopped us bringing Ajamil and thought, thank you, Krishna, for once somebody, he's done something that I don't have to punish. He doesn't enjoy punishment. It's his job. He doesn't do it for fun. It's not for gratification. He does it as his service to Krishna. But if somebody is a devotee or potential devotee, he doesn't want to punish them. So he said, thank God, it's a bit of fresh air that somebody different has arrived on the scene. Otherwise, we're just bringing people back, slapping them, sending them back again for doing more nonsense. So he's happy. So he says that he was ecstatic that found someone that who's worthy of that. Vishnu Dutas came especially for Ajamil. Fantastic. And in 8, excuse me.
Click here.
Sorry, I'm struggling a little bit. Let me try this.
Just get out of the screen. Share again.
Okay.
It gets stuck sometimes.
Yeah, so I've got what's happened here?
Share again.
Yeah, let's try again. Where am I? Stop share. Excuse me a minute. The computer got stuck, and now we've lost the screen.
At the top.
Where? No, it's okay. Just give me 1 second, please. I'll just go back into. Okay. Canto 1, chapter 16. And what verse? 8, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Text 8. Okay. Can you see?
Yeah. It's coming uploading.
Okay, now we're in. Okay. Na kaschin mriyate tavad yavad ast ihantakaha etad artham hi bhagwan ahutaha param shabihi aho narloke piyata hari lila amrit vachaha. So now not kashchit anyone, mriyate will die, tavat so long, yavat as long as aste is present, iha herein, antikaha one who causes the end of life, etat this artham reason, he is certainly Bhagwan, the representative of the Lord. Ahutaha invited param rishibhi by the great sages, aho alas narloke in human society, Piyata, let him drink. Hari Leela, transcendental pastime of the Lord. Amritam, nectar for eternal life. Vacha, narrations. So this is interesting. As long as Yamraj, who causes everyone's death, is present here, no one shall meet with death. The great sages have invited the controller of death, Yamraj, who is a representative of the Lord. Living beings who are under his grip should take advantage by hearing the deathless nectar on the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So he said that every human being dislikes meeting death. No one wants to die, but he does not know how to get rid of death. The surest remedy for avoiding death is to accustom oneself to hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord as they are systematically narrated in the text of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because as you connect yourself to the pastimes, you're connecting yourself to the Lord, and whatever you connect yourself, that's where you will go at the time of. It won't be death, it will be new beginning. Because we're back to a spiritual body, that is our reality. This death, birth, death, that's only for the material world. If you get out of the material world, then you don't need to die. We'll never need to die. You're eternal. We are eternal. So this death only applies to this Mrityu Lok. That's why it's called Mrityu Lok, because this is where the Mrityu is. And even when Krishna comes, he will leave a body like, oh, I've died, he just goes by the rules. And for the atheists who think of him like a human being, but he says, well, there you go. That's what you wanted, and I'll prove to you. For you, I am a human. So it is advised herein, therefore, that any human being who desires freedom from death should take to this course of life as recommended by Rishi, headed by Shaunak. So often we get so engrossed in service that we don't hear Krishna Katha. So hearing Krishna Katha is very, very important. Although we serve, the reason we do service
Seva.
is to keep this mood of remind ourselves that we are a servant of Krishna. Keep that mood of service, because when we're chanting around, we should be in the mood of service, in a mood of a servant. That is the best way to chant, right? So we do the service. That's important, but hearing Katha is also very important. Serving, yes, you serve at the temple, you serve the devotees, but hearing, and a lot of people do tend to avoid hearing. Even in temple, you see, when the class starts, people walk out, they go to the kitchen or outside thinking this doesn't apply to me because I'm serving anyway, which is more important. But this is more important because we're doing everything to remember Krishna. If you're just serving, there's no guarantee that you'll remember Krishna. At least when you hear the Katha, you remember Krishna. When you're serving, you'll forget or you don't understand why I'm doing this service. Or you start gossiping with someone else, you totally forget. So your aim of service becomes finding someone to have a chat with. Oh, I was sitting there on my own, listening. Now I have some associate and we can have a chat about something, heart to heart. But that is not Krishna remembering. You cannot remember Krishna like that by doing mundane talk. So Krishna Katha service is important as a reminder to us that we are servant and stay humble. And Krishna Katha is important to connect with Krishna, to remember Krishna. So all these things are important for their own reasons, but in the end of the day, it's all about remembering Krishna. So often we get so engrossed in service that we don't hear Krishna Katha. Services nourish our desire to hear, and hearing Krishna Katha nourishes our desire to serve. Both must be there. Okay, so they go side by side. It's not like one is enough. They both go side by side. And finally we do 9. Mandasya manda pragnasya vayo manda yushyash chavai nindriya hiryate naktam divacha vyarat karma bihi. So mandasya of the lazy, manda poultry, pragnasya of intelligence, vyaha age, manda short, ayu shaha of duration of life, cha and by exactly, nindriya by sleeping, hariyate passes away, naktam night, diva daytime, cha also, vyarat for nothing, karma bihi by activities. So lazy human beings with paltry intelligence and a short duration of life pass the night sleeping and the day performing activities that are for nothing, for naught. So the less intelligent do not know the real value of the human form of life. And how much time we have wasted on this. The human form is a special gift of material nature in the course of her enforcing stringent laws of miseries upon the living being. It is a chance to achieve the highest boon of life, namely to get out of the entanglement of repeated birth and death. The intelligent take care of this important gift by strenuously endeavoring to get out of the entanglement. But the less intelligent are lazy and unable to evaluate the gift of the human body to achieve liberation from the material bondage. They become more interested in so-called economic development and work very hard throughout life simply for the sense enjoyment of the temporary body. So we're just working on a bodily level. That's all we're doing, just on a bodily level. Working, enjoying, working, enjoying, working, enjoying, just the body, that's it. And then eventually the body is no longer enjoyable. Krishna takes away your facilities, your faculties, and you can't even enjoy your body anymore. Sense enjoyment is also allowed to lower animals by the law of nature. Even they enjoy. And thus a human being is also destined to a certain amount of sense enjoyment according to his past or present life. But one should definitely try to understand that sense enjoyment is not the ultimate goal of human life. That's just a symptom. It's something you do part-time, but full-time. We can particularly observe how the human being is engaged for nothing in the great cities and industrial towns. So everybody is like in a rush, running, trying to make money, trying to make a living. There are so many things manufactured by human energy, but they're all meant for sense enjoyment and not for getting out of material bondage. And after working hard during the daytime, a tired man either sleeps or engages in sex habits at night. That is the program of materialistic civilized life for the less intelligent. Therefore, they are designated herein as lazy, unfortunate, and short-lived. So this is a problem. We don't know what is the importance of life. We misuse our life. And even when we're chanting, we don't chant properly, and I include myself in that. So when we're chanting just here in the mouth to the lips, the lips deep is called, just lips deep. We are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just that's it, just to the lips. But it's supposed to go to the heart. It should be gone in. So if we hear it, it can go into the heart. We're just doing lip service. That's all we do when we're chanting, lip service. But it's not enough. It will take a long time. By that method, it will take a long time to achieve Krishna consciousness. Just to the lips is really not enough. So we've got to understand what is what is a necessity, what is important, and not just do things mechanically. And it's mentioned that people, human bodies, they think, well, I can enjoy this body. They use so many means to enjoy the body because most people think that that's what it's all about. Have fun, enjoy, be merry. Tomorrow we're going to die, but they don't understand that you don't have to die. You can go back and forget death once and for all. So thank you so much, and we'll stop here. But just quickly say, money is important, but it's not the perfection of life. There is an example of juggling with 3 balls. One ball is physical well-being, another is sadhana and bhajan, and third is work. So when we are juggling, some of the balls are high in the air, others are in your hand. So this way they circle. So it's like that sometimes. We need all 3. So Srila Prabhupada is being practical. He's saying, okay, we know we need to keep this body and mind together, but we should give more priority to. So we got our sadhana, we got our health, and we got work. We got these 3 things, but just don't give too much priority to too much work or too much trying to build a 6-pack or something. Wasting time in that. Juggle it nicely, but try and keep the bowl, that is your bhakti, nice and high, and you can work all 3 together. But don't just do the one, do all 3. So even sadhana, you don't forget your health. Look after your health as well. So thank you so much. Time's going on, so we'll stop here. Right, okay. So we start with Hina Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. This topic of not wasting time is one of my favourites, if I'm honest. And I think it's becoming more challenging. I think, especially in this day and age, in this technological age, where even more, we've got our devices now, which are also there, and easily lead our senses and attention into Maya, if not controlled. And I definitely suffer from that. When we should be using our devices for Krishna consciousness and not be used by them. Which sometimes they can control us. Sometimes, it's very easy for us to just doom scroll, for example, on social media, and before you know it, you've just wasted lots of time. So yeah, I think this is definitely very topical and relevant, these messages of not wasting time. And then the other point was just around Yamraj as well, which was covered off in the earlier verses, Prabhu, around how he isn't someone to be feared by devotees. He's feared by non-devotees because he administers punishments. However, for the devotee, we're on the same side. Yamraj himself is a devotee of the Lord. He's no threat to us. And it's just very nicely put by Srila Prabhupada about inviting him to Kirtan, and he likes to attend, etc. So, that was very nicely put. So, those were just my points. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Okay. And Kiran Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, everybody. Lovely verses. And it's true. We have to have life in balance. Work, our health, our body, and our sadhana. We get preoccupied with one or the other, but they have to be all synonymous, singing on the same hymn sheet as our hearts and minds. We do chant lazily, correct? We are lazy human beings, correct? And we are sense-driven, sense gratification or orientated, correct? We need to get out of that mode of ignorance and the other mode and go on onto the mode of goodness. And it is true, the Sudra, dressed as a king, was deceptive. This is how the world is. Mutton dressed up as lamb. We can dress up, we can be suited and booted, but underneath we're still paupers. And we have to become deep in our character such that we're not deceptive. We are kings, and we are kings like Parikshit, we're kings like Yudhishthira, so that our attitudes, our behavior is synonymous with our hearts and our mind. I used to be a trainer in race inequalities, and racism awareness training was about changing people's attitudes and behavior. But it's like any training. After the training, no matter how much the rat is trained, it still stinks at the end of the day. And we can go through time and years of different Bhagavatam classes, different Gita classes, but we still regress back to our mundane human attraction towards Maya. And hence time is very, very short. Our hearts, our memories, our chanting, all these things have to become a dance towards divinity. And that effort needs to be utmost and laser driven. We're cluster bombing in different places, but our minds have to be like the Brahmashram, focused by being in good association with people and realizing that, you know, you have a choice, Mritya Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. It's up to us. Do we want birth and death and death and birth? Krishna Katha offers us those opportunities. This human life form that's been given to us is absolutely priceless. Humans that I have come across who are Brahmins still think hamburgers are made out of ham. They still think egg is not vegetarian. They think fish is okay to eat. But this is the foolishness of humanity and us humans. And thank God for Srila Prabhupada for giving us this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, you're right. Brahman, born Brahman, that's why not considered high. They basically lost the birthright because when you don't behave, Brahman, it means that you should be connected to Brahman, to God. And if you're eating, things that are in the eyes of God, at least sinful, then how can you call yourself a Brahman? It's not, it doesn't connect at all. Thank you, Prabhu. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, very nice verses again. It's reminding us to remember what is the ultimate goal of our life is. And remember, time is valuable, not to waste in mundane activities, mundane talk. Last time we visited India, Delhi, on the temple, it had a sign, no prajalpa. So we have to remember that all the time, that we don't have to waste our time talking, about mundane things and only talk about Krishna Katha, discuss that in the association of devotees. And it was mentioned, like even the scientists, they cannot prolong. We can't even buy a second, like we've seen all these rich people, millionaires, billionaires, but they can't buy time at the end of their life. And it's the same for everyone. But Putin, like the asuras of today, Putin and Chinese leader Xi Jinping, whatever his name is, were overheard talking about prolonging life, changing organs and stuff. So they still think they will live forever. So that is, the sad thing when people don't have, you're in ignorance, you don't know about the ultimate, what is the reality, to connect with the absolute. So we are very fortunate what Srila Prabhupada has given us again and again. We pay gratitude, and I sincerely hope that, we can keep progressing and keep, Krishna in the center and always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Yeah, problem is we don't know what we don't know. We don't know about it, that we don't know this. Because we can't even like imagine things that Prabhupada has told us. Most people don't know that these things exist, so we don't know that we don't know. This problem, I mean, people who they are like stuck in their ways, they're after hungry for power and prestige. That's all they know. They don't know anything beyond that, and this is the problem. They're stuck there. If somebody open their eyes, they'll understand. Oh, I'm wasting my time. I should be using this, my intelligence for something better. Thank you, Mataji. Jai Prabhu?
I think, sorry, Prabhuji, yeah, I feel like contentment is very important, and I am very content, like knowing this, what is our ultimate goal, and just chanting will help us, just remembering Krishna all the time. So, so I don't think we need to worry too much whether we know this or we've read that. So, like in some classes, we get to hear so many names. Yesterday, I saw Chaitanya Bhagavatam, and I thought, oh my God, I haven't even read Bhagavatam, and then there is Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Brahm Samhita. But I think we don't have to worry, so just remembering Krishna and serving his devotees is, because life is short, Kali Yuga. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. You're right. There's so much to do, and spiritually, and we just waste our time on other things. There's no time to waste. Thank you, Mataji. Ajay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, it's over here it's said that we should speak about Krishna, and that is something we should all really focus on doing. It's very easy to speak on nonsense things, but especially like say after class, that's what quickly happens is you suddenly break that link with the Lord and then start speaking about nonsense. It's very easily done. You see it all the time, and a lot of temples and it's always a concern because I know on the hand I understand that you might have your personal issues you want to discuss and everything. Yet you have to bring the conversation back to Krishna. Otherwise, it just becomes mundane talk. There's no, you're not really devotees then in that sense. It's no different to anybody else. I'll give the example of this is more slightly more extreme example in terms of Judd birth, as in he was like originally Maharaj birth, but then because of his he was looking after a deer, he became a deer himself. His mind is focusing on that rather than focusing on his devotional service. And then as Judd birth, he said nothing to no one because he had realized that I can't let anything distract me. And therefore played like he was completely dumb, even though he was completely understood the science of Godhead. And in that sense, that's how we kind of, I'm not saying don't say anything, yet we should also be wary of not speaking nonsense. I explained that, Prabhupada explained that you shouldn't compliment anyone, you shouldn't criticize anyone. It doesn't mean that you don't say things full stop. It means you focus on talking about Krishna. I think when you speak about Krishna, you won't go wrong. You won't get distracted, and you continue that link with the Lord. Whereas when you speak about other topics, which you may have to from time to time, but then you do get distracted. And I think the more you talk about Krishna, the more you get attached to Krishna, and the more you get detached from material side of things. So you are purifying yourself by just speaking about the Lord. So if you are somebody who likes to talk a lot, then just talk about Krishna. You can't really go wrong. And if you like to hear about Krishna, then just hear about Krishna. Krishna, the outlet is there. We just need to take it, and it's it sounds simple, and it is quite simple. It's just that you'd have to be mindful of actually doing it rather than just being distracted by nonsense things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, in the Bhagavad-Gita it says, how does he speak? A yogi, how does he speak?
Sachinanda.
And like that. So it doesn't mean like, what language does he speak, or what accent does he have. It's how does he speak? What does he speak about? See, that's how he speaks. I mean, the people who do Maun Varat, and Maharaj was telling us, Sachinanda Maharaj, he says he met a Baba who was doing Maun Varat, and so his disciple said that he cannot speak to you because he's fasting. But then he took a mobile phone and he wrote on his phone in the notes that oh, you're German, like Mercedes car, like BMW, very nice. You make very nice cars. He says, how can you be doing Maun Varat does not mean that you just don't open your mouth. Should be connected with Krishna at that time. What's the point of doing Maun Varat? If you can talk about mundane subject like, oh, I like BMW and Mercedes, very nice cars. You should be telling it about Krishna Katha. Then it's Maun Varat. You're not speaking out of your mouth, but you're speaking out, mansikly. So it's not. What I said that is not Varat. So this is the thing. How does he speak? What are you saying mentally or physically? What are you saying? Very important. They're all connected. Our whole body is connected, right? What we're thinking, what we're saying, is all. It's not that it's okay to think about it as we don't speak it. It's not okay to think about it either. It's all connected. Should be thinking about Krishna, not about nonsense saying, oh, I'm not speaking today, so that's my fast. That is not fasting. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, it all starts through the ears, like they say. Ears are the last faculty to go away when somebody's leaving this life. So hearing is so important. So Parikshit Maharaj was so merciful in these verses. We have seen that he didn't kill Kali. He could have killed Kali, but he arrested him. So what's the message for us here? The message for us here is that we should arrest all the bad qualities of the Kali Yuga through our mind. We should not, enhance them, and we should not promote them by practicing them. Even when we criticize somebody, actually we are stamping that bad quality in ourselves. So we have to be very, very careful. It all starts in the mind, and from mind it comes. Mind, it is as thought, and then it coming from your mouth as words, and then afterwards it is action. So everything is interlinked. So we have to take care of our mind. We have to mind this mind all the time, and we have to hear from the right sources. So if we have to spend our energies, why not spend it on Krishna? Because Krishna is giving us the energies. The energy is coming, the resource is Krishna. So why not spend the energies for Krishna? So Krishna is going to empower us with the good qualities. Krishna is Atmaram. He doesn't need anything. He has got all the opulences, and he's got the 64 qualities. He is Sarvakala Sampurn, like they say. Even Lord Ram has got 2 qualities less than him, they say 62. Then it's Shiva. So there's hierarchy. So we have to be careful when we hear all this. Actually, we should be having imprints of good things in our psyche, and make sure that the bad ones, they don't repeat themselves. And how it's going to happen? If we are mindful, if we are going to practice it. And so it's all about the importance of the transient nature of life in these verses, that it's futile attempt to escape whatever is there in this material world, but there is a sure remedy, not remedy, a sure way which has been told by the Lord himself in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita, that connect to me, I will deliver you. I am the only one. Otherwise, you'll be just wasting your time and just going after things which have got no meaning, which have got a start, which have got an end. In any kind of sense gratification, we have seen, we enjoy. Then we say, oh, I'm fed up of this now. I want to take a break. But there's one thing which you never get fed up of, which is Krishna Katha. You hear, you apply, and then you want to know more. You read the main scriptures, and when you've understood them properly, then you can go to understand the the little commentaries in different books given by the Goswamis and all that. But that's a very high level. Even if somebody has perfected themselves in Bhagavad-Gita, they can go back to Godhead. Even if they have perfected themselves in the most important 108 shlokas of Bhagavad-Gita, they're eligible to go. And somebody who can't even read, write, if they have understood what Krishna is trying to give in his messages, is good enough. It's all about how sincere we are. Are we happy to just work hard throughout the day, spend hard, and then get fed up, then go to sleep, and then start again, and slowly as you go on doing that, you realize that yes, time has gone. And what is the time here for? Why all these resources have been given is clearly shown by the Lord. And I think even a person who is not well versed in spiritual knowledge, even at the start, they can quite clearly understand where it's all coming from and where we are all going. So importance of the power of hearing is given, and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam transforms the heart, as we all must have noted that once you start hearing it sincerely, once your attendance is 100%, when you're sitting there, your mind should be there listening to the words. And if you're not understanding anything, try to ask questions, try to clear doubts from whoever you want, because in this day of social media, use the social media wisely. Use it to help you, not to degrade you, not to waste your time. It's so easy to get caught in that web of wasting time, and use it to your advantage, because we have to remember that our time on this material planet is limited, and we have to do everything in this limit. People become billionaires, trillionaires in these lives, so why not we become billionaires, trillionaires? It's not, Krishna is not saying that don't become prosperous, don't earn money, and don't acquire. You do all that, but at the same time balance it by acquiring the spiritual side of the knowledge as well, because that is going to deliver our souls. This is what our main purpose of us being born in this material world are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks so much. You have become billionaires in spirituality. Get those spiritual points in, because they will stay with you.
They'll carry
your
on.
Billions and millions in monetary terms, somebody else will be enjoying later on, and they probably won't thank you for it. I think
they might give you karma by abusing it.
Yeah, this is the problem, and helping anyone, give them to, because they don't have drive to do anything for themselves. So so spirituality should be on top of the agenda. So thank you so much, and we'll catch up again on Wednesday.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Go.
Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hare Hare Bol.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Have a
Krishna.
nice day, everyone.
Very well.
Thank you.